Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Alexandra Stadium for the PAC 2019 Men's Soccer Championship here on the PAC Sports Network in collaboration with the fine folks here at W&J College. It's the top-seeded W&J Presidents facing off against the number 2 seed, the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. I'm Randy Gore along with Andy Stanko, who has been along for the ride with the W&J Presidents throughout the 2019 campaign. W&J 11-7-2 overall, 7-0-1 in the regular season in the PAC. Geneva this year 10-8 overall, 6-2 in the President's Athletic Conference. W&J appearing in the PAC Championship for the first time since 2013, making their 9th overall appearance and attempting to win their first PAC title since 2007. It would be their 4th overall championship. Geneva searching for its first PAC crown since 2016 and 2nd overall. The Golden Tornadoes appearing in the title tilt for the 4th time in the last 5 years. And this contest here tonight, Andy, it's one that, as we talked about before we hit the air, it's one of a contrast of styles. W&J, a great offensive unit. Geneva, the top defensive unit in the PAC. So obviously tonight something's got to give.
Yeah, two extremely worthy teams, two teams that beat just incredible teams in the final day of the season and the semifinals. W&J beating Grove City twice, Geneva getting past Westminster twice, and you said it, Randy. This W&J team, 49 goals in 20 games, threatening that school record of 51 goals set in 2002 for the Presidents. And then Geneva, 19 games played, 18 goals against average, number 1 in the President's Athletic Conference, sub 1. And you want to talk about high-powered offenses. Westminster is as potent as any team in the PAC with the front line that they have. And for Geneva to go 110 minutes just about twice to keep Westminster off the board, that certainly gets W&J's attention. And then vice versa. The 4 dynamic scores that W&J, I know, certainly has Geneva's attention as well.
Both teams needing overtime to advance to the championship. For Geneva, it was a 0-0 tie, then advanced on penalty kicks, outscoring Westminster 4-3. In the regular season finale, Geneva beat Westminster in double overtime 1-0. Antonio Fiordolino scored the game-winning goal in that one. Then they match up again in the semifinals. Geneva blanking Westminster again. Gabe Kemp had 7 saves for the shutout. Davon Johns, Kevin Pasho, Zach O'Connor, and Chase Baxa all scored in the penalty kick session to advance the Golden Tornadoes to tonight's contest. Also in PKs, junior Nate Burkhart was in net and made a diving stop on Westminster's first attempt, which gave Geneva the advantage. So kind of an interesting juggling act that Geneva has with their 2 goalkeepers. Of course, W&J utilizes their 2 keepers as well.
And if possible, Geneva, for a 2 seed, really snuck up, I'd say, on a lot of the conference. Most of the year, Westminster was in that number 1 spot, ahead of W&J, playing one more game earlier in the season in PAC play. Geneva lost at Grove City, lost at home to W&J, and then on the final day of the season had a chance to be anywhere 2 through 4. Got that overtime win, got the home game, and now here they are with a chance to avenge what was an earlier 4-1 defeat to Washington and Jefferson. And then on the other side, W&J to beat a Grove City squad twice, a really hardworking, strong group. It was a heck of an accomplishment. 2 goals for Dylan Maenja on Wednesday, and here they are.
Yeah, 2-1 win in double OT. Prior to this season, W&J had not defeated Grove City since 2012. However, W&J went ahead and beat them twice in a span of a week, following a 1-0 win last Saturday over Grove City in the regular season finale. W&J beat Grove City again in the semis on Wednesday, as Andy described, 2-1. Dylan Maenja with a couple of goals, including the game winner in double OT. So a couple of exciting games of the semifinals, and we are expecting certainly another one here tonight with these teams hooking up. This is the first time the PAC title game will come down to these 2 schools in the title contest. And last season, just to run through a little bit of history with the 2 teams, last season marked the first time since 2013 that W&J had defeated Geneva, a 1-0 win on homecoming. And then on October 26th of this season, W&J beating Geneva 4-1. All the scoring in that game in the first half as Geneva struck first on a goal by Alex Yoder, but then W&J rattling off 4 straight goals in 15 minutes to take command of the game. Goals by Michael Kamaniak, Alvaro Viitis, Junior Mensah, and Zach Bowser. When you look at that first matchup, and surely Geneva was happy to get that first goal, but then things went awry for them. Whoever gets this first goal here tonight, you would have to expect it would be a gigantic momentum shifter.
Yep. For W&J, 3 times this season, the Presidents have come back after giving up the first goal in conference play against Westminster, battling back to tie against Bethany in Geneva, and they came back and won those games big by multiple goals in both of those cases. So this is a team with a lot of firepower, a team that has been scored on first. But as Coach Ian McDonald likes to say, you get that first one, it relaxes you, you play loose, you play free. And this is certainly a team. What will be really interesting is the contrasting styles. W&J super technical. They want to get wide. They want to possess the ball, work in the midfield. Geneva is big, physical. As Ian McDonald said, your prototypical Geneva team. And since joining the PAC, Geneva has been a force. They've been a regular in this PAC title game, and it's been more of the same for this group. They're going to be direct. They're going to put the ball in the box. They're going to make you defend for all 90 minutes. And it's just exciting to see a matchup of these styles. Both semifinals were outstanding. We should be in for another good one here today.
Had an opportunity pre-match to talk with the head coaches, but we'll save some of that as we pause now for the national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner from Alexandra Stadium here at W&J College. The Presidents, the host team and #1 seed, taking on the 2nd seeded Geneva Golden Tornadoes for the PAC Men's Soccer Championship. And for those tuning in via the PAC Sports Network website, this is actually one of 3 championship contests in the Presidents Athletic Conference today. Earlier on at 4 o'clock, the start time of that one, Westminster defeating Geneva in women's volleyball. We had that via the PAC Sports Network with the collaboration of the fine folks at Westminster College as well. Here we are for this men's soccer championship, and we also have the women's title game on the PAC Sports Network homepage as Grove City playing host to the Chatham Cougars. So it's championship day of the President's Athletic Conference, and our pleasure to be a part of it. Thanks to the PAC and the all the fine folks here on staff in the PAC as well at W&J. So both teams getting ready, and I'll let you go ahead, Andy, and run down the starters for us.
Absolutely. We'll start with the home Presidents, as I'm very familiar. Across the top, it's Fetterman, Myanja, and Michael Komaniak, all of them top 10 in the PAC in points. Alvaro Viitis, Nick McNoon, and Zach Bowser in the midfield. Viitis, of course, the exchange student from Spain. The junior has 21 points in the season. Zach Bowser making his 10th start here today as a freshman. The back line, Junior Mensah, Gary Olson, Colin Martinzik, and Quinn Pickering. It is Ian Donlan to start in goal for the Presidents. For Geneva, it's Kevin Peychaud, Michael Pollard, Cole Sauer, Chase Baxa, Noah Abdel Nabi, Luke Herman, Davon Johns, James Minconi, Ian Gelsinger, and Gabe Kemp, the goalkeeper.
And we are underway in the 2019 PAC Men's Soccer Championship as W&J with the all-black uniforms, white numerals and lettering. Geneva with the old gold uniform tops, black numerals and lettering. W&J right to left across your screen. And Geneva, of course, in the opposite direction. W&J wants to get on the attack early here, but lobbed out of the attacking zone by Geneva. And again, the Golden Tornadoes, the top defensive squad of the conference. W&J, the top offensive team in the PAC. Geneva working it out to the midfield as Chase Baxa has it deflect off a W&J player and out of bounds on the near side. We'll have a throw-in pending for the Golden Tornadoes. And Geneva, but really both teams hampered by injuries this season, but both teams overcoming that to reach this title game. Looking at it from the Geneva perspective, without their leading scorer for much of the season, Jake Brodwick, their top offensive threat, was out 4 weeks with a knee injury, an MCL injury. And so head coach Gary Dunda doing some work to retool the offensive setup, and Geneva has scored enough goals to win. Of course, they're a defensive-minded group, but Chase Baxa, one of those players, as we mentioned him, he began the year as one of the defenders, but moved up to striker, and he has helped produce some offense. In fact, in his first game at striker, he scored a couple of goals against the Bethany Bison. Ball out of bounds off the body of Luke Herman as W&J has a throw-in from the far side. Throw in toward Nicholas McNoon. And before W&J can penetrate the attacking third, Geneva will send it deep the other way.
And you'll see plenty of that with this Geneva squad. They want to test that back line of W&J. 2 new starters this year. Colin Martinzik, a freshman center back. Gary Olson, that outside right back, a senior, but he was a cross-country runner. This is his first year with the program.
Now an opportunity for Jake Fetterman down the left wing. Trying to charge into the goal box, but good defense, physical defense there by Peixo as he takes Fetterman off the ball, and Peixo will clear to the midfield.
There you saw what both teams want to do. Presidents want to get wide. Geneva wants to get physical. Good job by Peixo defensively there on Fetterman.
Early in the first half as we are more or less just underway. And some probing tries from each side. McNoon in the midfield will play it back to Martinzik, and Geneva starting to collapse in the midfield. Baxa giving chase. W&J retains possession and will play it back to their keeper in Ian Donlin.
Yeah, look how tight Geneva is in the middle. That they want to push things wide. They're not going to let W&J work through the middle, and that is something they're very disciplined in their shape. And then mistakes like that can happen, and then all of a sudden you win the ball in the offensive half.
Errant pass by McNoon, and as a result, Geneva with a throw-in in W&J territory. And that'll deflect out of bounds. Both teams pointing in the opposite direction, but it will be credited to W&J. Throw-in pending for Martinzik. And W&J, we mentioned some of the injuries for Geneva, in particular the one to Jake Brodwick. And Brodwick is available, but he'll be used judiciously by the coaching staff. Whenever they need an offensive jolt, they'll go to him. As here comes itis on the charge, up to Fetterman on the left side. Fetterman, little shimmy shake move, trying to get by a defenseman, but deflects into the goal box now. Gathered in by Peixo. Peixo into the left corner, but in some space will drive it out to the midfield.
That sequence, however, very similar to the first goal W&J had against Grove City. Itis working in the midfield, drawing attention, pushing wide to Fetterman. That's the formula. Grove City put a lot of attention on itis, doubled him that whole second meeting. We'll see how Geneva wants to play him.
Martinzik surveys the scene and will drive one deep down the far side. Maenja in the area trying for a header, but it's headed the opposite way by Herman. Out of bounds far side, W&J throw-in. And injuries for W&J as as they've been able to overcome that. Speak to that, Andy.
Where to start? Well, Christian Payne up top was a PAC Offensive Player of the Week here early in the season. Had a bunch of points in the first 2 weeks. He missed quite a bit of time. In the back line, Jonathan Yaus, who started as a freshman as an outside back, he missed a large chunk of the season, a month in October. In the midfield, Joey Fiola battled injuries, Jake Fetterman. But here's the thing for W&J, those injuries turned into depth with those pieces who replaced those players, and once they returned, and there's a whistle, it's going to go against itis. Here's a reason you don't want to give that foul. Geneva lives as Coach McDonald says, for these set pieces, they place a large emphasis in their preparation as well into developing these chances and looking to capitalize off them. The first goal, or the only goal Geneva scored against W&J this season, was on a similar attempt.
Free kick for Davon Johns. He'll drive it in deep, headed high in the goal box, and headed opposite way by W&J, and quickly cleared as the ball comes free to Gary Olson, and he clears it out of danger. Davon Johns, good defense again, and an errant pass out of bounds, so Johns will handle the throw. And we talked pregame with Gary Dunda, the 10th-year head coach of Geneva, really praised, laudatory words for Davon Johns and the effort he has given this season defensively.
Mm-hmm. And Westminster has quite a few special guys, and in order to take them out of the game, you need very sound, physical, and resilient defenders. It only takes one time for one of those special guys to make a world-class play, and to hold them out without a goal in 2 straight games is remarkable.
Johns to throw it in. Geneva trying to set up a shot tight near the end line, but W&J will not allow that to happen as Olson clears it out. And Gary Dunda, as far as the Geneva keys, he said we have to play Geneva soccer, and that means, of course, defense number one, but take advantage of their opportunities scoring when they have them. Another collision and a foul on W&J. So a free kick upcoming here for Davon Johns and the Golden Tornadoes.
And for Geneva, you'll take it. This is how you create some chances. You'll see Geneva, their outside backs and their final man in the back line won't really push up except for these situations, so here you go.
Johns asked to move the ball back a few feet and a few more. First half, 0-0 between W&J and Geneva. On the run-up, another deep kick by Johns, and that handled by the goalkeeper, Ian Donlan, straight in on him. And Donlan will roll it out now to the near side to Junior Mensah. Mensah, 2-time All-PAC selection.
He's rocking the headband tonight. 11 stitches on Wednesday after a collision in overtime. It was a happy hospital trip, however, for Coach McDonald. There's a great photo of those two celebrating from the hospital from Wednesday evening after the win.
Yeah, I happened to catch that over the internet, I believe on Twitter. And, all smiles, no matter how many stitches, always smiles after a victory. And glad to see him back in action here tonight. Cleared out of bounds by Geneva on the near side. W&J and Junior Mensah, the aforementioned, to throw it in. Mensah out of Virginia and Broad Run High School.
Yeah, he's a team captain, a guy who's been a multi-year starter, heads up. And, this lineup for W&J only has 2 full-time senior starters. It's both outside backs, Mensah and Olson, so a lot to be excited about moving forward for this Washington and Jefferson College squad.
Yeah, a pair of young teams, really. And this could be a matchup we see often in the title game. W&J trying to penetrate, Komaniak giving chase, but Geneva will give up possession back to W&J. Gathered back in by Quinn Pickering. Pickering will reset to Martinsik. And Chase Baxa continues to chase everywhere, all over the field, and he's one of those guys, again, an outstanding defensive player, but moved to the striker spot because of the injury early on to Broadwick. And that's allowed by the fact that Geneva is so strong defensively that they could afford to give up some of that defense and try and create some offense with it.
Yeah, it's a testament to the program, and they've been able to recruit and play a style and have an identity, and all credit to them and Coach Dunda.
Johns back to his keeper, Gabe Kemp. And Kemp, who is absolutely on fire. I know, a handball on Geneva. And now a free kick opportunity for the W&J Presidents.
W&J got a couple of goals, 2 goals on these set-piece opportunities against Geneva in that first meeting. However, there is a pretty big difference. That day was at Geneva, cold, rainy. Tonight is a beautiful night, being November, for a PAC final. It is clear. It is definitely cool, but definitely enough to still play fast which both of these teams are interested in doing.
It's November after all, right?
Yeah.
We should expect it to be a little cool, but it is absolutely picturesque otherwise. Here's the free kick from Pickering. It just wide left. Kemp came out to charge it and missed.
Now Kemp is a hot goalie. He's only given up one goal in the last 4+ games. But Coach McDonald said he's still a freshman. We want to test him in that back line, and there's an early example of just that.
So a corner kick now for W&J as Kemp evidently got a piece of it on its way out of bounds. And here comes the corner. Drive with the right foot, but it sails over the crossbar by McNoon. And a goal kick now for the Golden Tornadoes.
All right, these teams are starting to ease into it. Both teams had their hair on fire, really. You saw the high pressure both sides from the beginning. It's a conference final. We've got a nice crowd here tonight. We can kind of settle in and play soccer here, and really both teams just play to who they are.
And with a title on the line, beautiful crowd in attendance here at Alexandra Stadium. Off the goal kick, Kemp headed forward by Minconi. And now W&J far side. Maenja has it go out of bounds just before he can retrieve it. And Geneva to throw it in. Throw in deep toward Polad. Michael Polad headed back his way. Maenja keeps it in bounds as possessions continue to be exchanged. And now W&J will settle it down and drive it into Geneva territory. Hustling play there by McNoon, and now he'll lead Fetterman down toward the left corner. Fetterman trying to set up a crossing pass, but cut off, and then ball cleared out by Geneva.
You'll take the long throw over the corner kick any day of the week, but personnel-wise, W&J will use Junior Mensah out of that left back spot. He'll just slide up and he'll heave it. He can put it in towards that 6-yard box.
Always great to have a weapon on the throw-in of that nature, and here is that deep throw-in, practically like a corner kick. McNoon with the right foot. That deflects off a defenseman, and a scramble in front, out of the goal box now and to the top right. Headed out by Geneva's Noah Abdelnabi, and a crossing pass knocked down by Johns this time and cleared out. W&J sticking with it, keeping the heat on. Fetterman shot and a goal.
Wow. The Presidents worked so hard there. It was Olsen and Viitis winning the ball again and again and again out wide, putting it into Fetterman. Olsen, putting it into Fetterman. And many times it's Jake Fetterman from the left side serving it in. This time it was Olsen and Viitis really battling for possession, winning the ball multiple times. And in a championship game, that's a championship type of multiple effort, and a good finish there from Fetterman.
So W&J strikes first. Goal with 32:16 on the clock in the first half. And Olsen with the assist for Fetterman. That is his 6th goal of the season. And Olsen with his 3rd assist.
W&J goal by number 9, Jake Fetterman. His 6th of the season. The assist to number 31, Gary Olsen.
And the home crowd celebrating that goal by Fetterman. Beautifully set up. And now another opportunity here for the Presidents, but that one with the left foot sails high by Viitis at a goal kick for Geneva.
Yeah, Alvaro's got the green light on anything in that range. He is someone, Randy, as you'll see this game go on, he moves at his own speed, especially when he has the ball. And this team, Coach McDonald said that they've had foreign exchange students before. And Coach McDonald, of course, himself came over and played at Davis and Elkins from England. And so he's done it himself. Of course, he did it for a 4-year career. But he has never seen a guy fit in so seamlessly on and off the field. And it went from, hey, this guy could play for us, to this guy could start for us, to this guy could be really special for us. And he's had a great season.
Viitis out of Burgos, Spain, won the PAC Rookie of the Week twice this season for the weeks of October 14th and 28th. Certainly proving his worth. And then some. Free kick now for W&J. Presidents up by a goal. And I think that's huge from the Geneva perspective, because if Geneva gets the first goal, W&J can more so easily recover from that because of the President's firepower. In contrast, with Geneva, a team that's more defensive-minded now playing from behind, it certainly is advantage Presidents in more than one way.
Refresh.
Ball rolls into the goal box very quietly and handled by goalkeeper Ian Donlan. Free kick now for the Golden Tornadoes as we have under 30 to play in the first half. Ball driven in deep by Johns, headed into the box by Geneva. That coming courtesy of Polad, but will roll into the box yet again very slowly, easily handled by the W&J keeper Ian Donlan, and now back into attack mode, the Presidents.
But as to what you were saying, Randy, about with Geneva falling behind, at what point does Gary Dunda, this is a championship game, there's no tomorrow. At one point, it's probably not going to happen now, 10 minutes from now, will he consider changing his tactics? Grove City went to 3 backs, and it paid off, and here you got a chance for Maenja.
Finds a teammate in the middle. Good footwork from Sauer, shot on net, but gobbled up by the keeper, Gabe Kemp.
And I'll say this for Grove City, the Wolverines were down 1-0 at the half. Several big saves kept them in that game until they were able to create enough chaos to get their goal. Look for Geneva to use that same formula.
Ball headed forward by Polad, trying to get to it there is Abdel Nabi. W&J won't let that happen. Off of Maenja, deflected by Komaniak.
Come on, Chase.
And now that is Mensah, rather. Mensah getting to it. Settled by Geneva to the near side. And again, Mensah after it and out of bounds. This is to our blind spot here, so we'll rely quite a bit on our camera perspective, as it is much better. What you are seeing either via your mobile device or at home is a bit better than our view from the press box. Throw in to the box, headed out. And Mensah then lobs it up with a high arcing clear to the midfield. Nicely done by Junior Mensah. Komaniak, great offensive pressure there, forcing the issue on Kemp, but he clears. Baxa with a collision in the midfield. W&J wanting a foul, but no dice. Junior Mensah able to find teammate Viitis. Viitis back to Pickering, and he'll drive it deep. Maenja getting behind the defense. Right-footed shot just goes wide left.
And there you can see Geneva's going to be direct. They want to get upfield. But when that ball turns over and you have those transition chances, those wide wings and your wing backs, you can play balls out there, and Maenja had plenty of space. Got a touch on it, just wide on his attempt to the left.
Goal kick, Geneva. As Gabe Kemp out to the midfield with it. And Kemp, that goal he permitted earlier on here in this half, it's the first time in quite a while he has allowed a goal. As he allowed only one in the last 3.5 games, including shutouts of Franciscan and Wittenberg. He'd also started a couple of games early this season when junior Nate Burkhart was injured, came up with a couple of shutouts then, so showing that he is reliable as well as Burkhart, and now we're going to have an opportunity for Geneva. Free kick here for the Golden Tornadoes in deep, as this will be administered by Zach O'Connor. Presidents up by 1 goal. Geneva trying to draw even, and a great opportunity to do so. O'Connor. Oh, and headed on net, or at least toward the net. That may have been going wide right, but the ball stopped nonetheless with a diving save by Ian Donlan.
Hey, if you're Geneva, you're getting what you want. Create those chances. You can line up, play those set pieces, and it's a big emphasis for this team. And for the Presidents, you got to clean up the challenges.
I believe that was Cole Sauer on that header for the Golden Tornadoes. Very close to a goal there. The equalizer seemed near, but W&J hangs on to its 1-goal lead. Geneva threatening again, however, top of the 18 and a goal. Michael Pollard, Geneva ties it up 1-1.
Well, here we go. And once again, it was direct down the middle. And you have to play a mistake-free game. There was a crease that opened up. And I'll tell you what, Pollard was composed. He picked the bottom left corner, and he finished it. It's not going to be so easy for the Presidents here tonight.
Who said Geneva's all defense?
No.
They come up with one there. W&J trying to strike back in a hurry. Maenja to the right quarter. And it will roll through the end line off of Maenja. So a goal kick, Geneva upcoming. Under 25 to play now in the first half. We're even 1-1.
And these teams have distinctly been themselves to get to each of their goals.
Ball headed high off the goal kick. Over to Maenja, cut off by the Geneva defense. Minconi. And now gathered in by Ian Donlan. Donlan, the junior keeper who plays the first halves of games for W&J. And some grappling going on, but coming free. Geneva's Cole Sauer plays it back to Pollard. He dribbles into the box left side. But he is forced out in a hurry. And a streaking play made by the W&J defense and Colin Martinsik. Across the field to the near side now, it's Fetterman who scored the game's first goal.
Number 22, Michael Pollard, his second of the season.
Fetterman cut off by O'Connor. Golden Tornadoes work it back to the midfield. Quinn Pickering there, though, for W&J.
Come on, keep going.
Presidents resetting, and now Pickering sends it in deep. Looking for Komaniak, headed the other way by Davon Johns. Maenja settles it in. Little give and go, back to Maenja. From the right side, centering pass. Oh, and he had Komaniak there, but Geneva read it well enough to clear it away.
There you can see the chemistry, though. These guys have really figured each other out before or through the course of the season, and before Dylan Maenja became the PAC frontrunner for Newcomer of the Year, you know, he scored all his goals October on. Coach McDonald was saying he's got all the tools. We just got to figure it out, put the pieces together, and they certainly have done that.
Throw in from Mensah into the box. Near Fetterman, it's settled. Here's Pickering. Left-footed try. Fans want a handball for W&J, no dice. But still an opportunity. And a right-footed shot on net on a hop, but the save made on that attempt there by McNoon.
For W&J, this whole sequence, the last 2-3 minutes, possession, going backwards, going wide, forcing the issue. This is exactly what they want offensively. Kudos to Geneva, though, on the other end for taking all of it and getting it out.
So Gabe Kemp with that last stop, one-hop save. And the Presidents to throw it in. You were talking about the chemistry of this W&J offense, and when we spoke with Gary Dunda, that was one of the first things in complimenting W&J and saying that they had to watch out for. As he said, the four, you know, the top four offensive players for W&J have that chemistry that really no other team in not only in the PAC has, but across the region. It's going to be an opportunity now for Geneva as they credit the ball with possession to the Golden Tornadoes.
I believe that's Alex Yoder on for Geneva.
Geneva, number 9, Alex Yoder.
So indeed, Yoder in for the Golden Tornadoes. Johns to throw it in, and here it comes. Off a W&J defenseman, but handled well by Donlan off the ricochet. McNoon playing it back to Pickering. Midfield, Geneva gathers it in. Cole Sauer trying to lead Chase Baxa. Oh, look out. Ball played toward Donlin, but he was able to hustle over and get to it. Geneva tying it up 1-1 on a goal by Pollard. Fetterman had the first for W&J. That with 32:16 to play in this first half. Kamaniak handled well defensively there by Geneva, and the Golden Tornadoes up the near side. Trying to feed it to Baxa, but an off-target pass and out of bounds.
Go, Chase.
Glad to have you with us here on the PAC Sports Network in collaboration with the fine folks here from W&J College. One of 3 championships on the air today on the PAC Sports Network website. Collision. And again, McNoon wanting a call, but Geneva will get credit with possession here. Under 20 to go in the first half. And as far as a championship game goes, this is exactly the type of excitement that you would want and or expect.
Yeah, I'd agree. And when you look back at the PAC championship game the last couple of years, they've all been down to the wire, 1-goal games, overtime PKs.
Look out, a chance there. Oh, Mensah with the defensive play, and the goalkeeper, Donlin, is down.
He's had some back and rib problems this year in terms of injuries. Gary Olson was the one to get there to clear it.
And also Cole Sauer down, as he was the one bearing in on the W&J net, and Junior Mensah just trying to do anything he could to prevent a goal from happening there. Certainly a violent collision occurring.
And now for W&J, usually the Presidents will switch at halftime. Donlin and sophomore Sam Miller, they'll share time, and that's just been the system that has worked for the Presidents over this last month or so when Donlin's been healthy. There were some games earlier in the year where it was just Donlin, then he was hurt, then it was just Miller. And really, the best results, to be honest, have been when both of them have played. So Coach McDonald says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so he's been rolling with it and rolling with it and rolling with it. And here we'll see if Donlin, and he has had, back and rib issues. I'm not sure what this one might be. But I don't know. This is the balance, too, where you ran into this on Wednesday in the semifinal where the Presidents had quite a few players banged up. You want to stick it out, but you also don't want to be a liability at the same time, especially in games this close. And speaking of the PAC men's soccer final, 6 straight PAC title games have been 1 goal or penalty kicks. So just the nature of the beast here, you get into the final. There's bound to be another really good team waiting for you. And in both of these cases, both of them beat really good teams to get here. Geneva beating Westminster twice, W&J beating Grove City twice, and neither team's going to take this lying down. And this is kind of an interesting pause that you don't usually get in the middle of a half of a soccer game of this caliber. So it's not something these guys have run into too often throughout this year. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams respond to this little break in the action.
And Geneva has regrouped near their bench for the most part. There's still a few Golden Tornadoes out on the field as Ian Donlin continues to be checked on, the product out of New York, 5'10", 155-pound junior. And so we'll see if it's an early call to Sam Miller or if Donlin can continue. And evidently Donlin taking the brunt of that collision with Sauer, as the officials say we're ready to go. So Donlin appears to be headed to the bench.
Yeah, it's going to be Miller.
And now Sam Miller, who was expecting to play, but now he has to get loose in a hurry.
Yeah, you'll usually see him, throughout that first half, walking down, staying loose, stretching it out, and certainly an abbreviated session. At halftime, you'll see Miller and Donlin getting Miller loose typically, while the rest of the team is talking. So here you go, kind of cold. However, Miller is experienced. He's played in the vast majority of these games, so you can't expect a drop-off.
And with Miller playing in the second half and sometimes overtime, like what we saw on Wednesday night in the semifinals, when he's called upon, and not to diminish the saves made by Donlin, but when Miller is called upon, it's usually with a game on the line, or very oftentimes could be.
Yeah, the Saturday game with Geneva or Grove City, a great save on a free kick, and then the crossbar save, deflecting a ball just to the crossbar in the first overtime on Wednesday's semifinal game. 2 huge saves for Miller.
So play back in action here as we're under 19 to play. Mensah with a steal. Taken right back, though, by Herman, and now Geneva with an opportunity. It's Pollard who scored the first goal for Geneva toward the right quarter. Looking for a crossing pass. Cleared out initially by W&J, but still frantic in front. Sauer had a chance near the top of the 18. Could not get a shot on net. Geneva keeps the heat on, though, from the right quarter.
I think it's a W&J throw down there.
And that is out of bounds. So, yep, W&J with the throw in. Saw Mensah heading in that direction, and that is his call.
Yep.
The signature for Junior Mensah. Ball headed right back, though, by Minconi. Tic-tac-toe passing back to Minconi. Will feed it to the left. Geneva in the attacking third. Maenja catching up, though, from behind defensively, and he will send it in deep, looking for Kamaniak. Deflected far side defensively by Ian Gelsinger. We're all tied up here in the first half of the PAC Men's Championship. Geneva with a throw-in pending.
There you see the beauty of the 4-3-3 for W&J. Just flipping there was Maenja and Gary Olson, that they're interchangeable in that outside role when they need to be. And Gary Olson, believe it or not, before he was a cross-country runner, he was more of a wing offensive player than an outside back when he played soccer. So here's a guy who was running cross-country the last 2 years, played offense in soccer, and then comes to W&J this year and plays a key role as an outside back with Jonathan Yaus missing a month of the season.
Johns on the throw-in for Geneva from the midfield.
And Geneva is happy to throw it, get it back, throw it, get it back, because they'll be close enough to, and here comes Johns. He'll get a running start and he'll put it in the box, and that's all Geneva wants. Create chaos, a chance will come.
Happy to inch their way up the field, the Golden Tornadoes, and doing that now with Johns raising the ball up high. Here comes the throw-in into the goal box. Headed away by McNoon, settled by Pollard, but in a double team. He'll find a teammate now. Minconi drives it across the goal mouth, headed back in front.
Good touch there by Fetterman.
Another try for Geneva, headed by Minconi. Top of the 18, Minconi's shot goes wide right.
Hey, that's the formula for Geneva. Get it down the field, get into a situation where you can serve it in and then play ping pong. And that's what the Golden Tornadoes do. That's what they're good at. And kudos to them, falling behind 1-0 and just sticking to their guns to get to this point.
Near side to Mensah off the goal kick. Steal midfield by Luke Herman. W&J comes out of there
there's
with
Alvaro.
Possession. Over to Maenja. Header a bit off target, but he gets back to it, does Maenja. Kamaniak resets back to McNoon. Looking for Kamaniak, but was tangled up enough by Justin Harbison to prevent any action there. Now to the right quarter. Maenja locked up with Johns. That's touched by Johns. And now we've got a whistle on Maenja. Maenja with his arms outstretched saying, hey, what did I do? But it will be a foul on him. Under 15 to play in the first half. 1-1 your score. W&J and Geneva in the PAC Men's Soccer Championship. And Sam Miller right now in net for The W&J presidents because of an injury on a collision in the goal box for Ian Donlan. Maenja right side. Presidents trying to go side to side from the right quarter. Maenja toward Komaniak, but stolen and cleared courtesy of Davon John. So you can see exactly why both coaches think so much of Johns.
He's an eraser. That's just what he does.
Komaniak, nice pass. Feed across toward Fetterman. W&J could never settle it, though, for a shot.
I don't think that was a handball. They were calling for it.
I didn't see one.
Not quite.
And Geneva drives it in deep and out of bounds, courtesy of Minconi.
But that's what you want for W&J. Get wide, get it across. You've got great finishers, near post, far post. You know, sometimes nobody's home, but it is what it is. We're going to see Joey Fiola in for McNoon here. And Fiola, really springy midfielder, started a ton of matches earlier in the year, had an injury. Bowser's played really well. But Fiola, definitely a guy who also has a green light to rip it from anywhere.
And teams like W&J that have a certain type of offensive talent, and you've spoken to it, that the presidents want to go side to side as opposed to crashing up the field. And some teams, they just want to go straight up the field. But if you have a certain skill set, you prefer to go with that side to side because you want to set something up, obviously.
Well, don't tell Coach McDonald that, because he likes to say we can do it all. He said if we want to hoof it and run, we can do that, but we want to play to our strengths, and that what you described would be W&J this year.
Well, even better if you can do it all. Then that's the way to be. Geneva's defensive prowess against the prolific W&J offense here in 2019. We're tied up 1-1 in the first half. Physical play there just into the game. Fiola welcomed in
Fiola's
unkind.
A great ball winner in the midfield. Great ups on that boy.
And that's how you win championships. You win those 50-50 balls. Komaniak all over the field right now. Near side, W&J maintaining possession. Itis passing it off. Here's Fiola with a little bit of space to work with. Has a trailer in Pickering. Pickering, nice footwork. Angles to the left. Goes to Fetterman in the left quarter. Fetterman, ball dribbles off a Geneva defenseman over toward Komaniak in the box. Geneva clears, but Mensah forces the issue. Now a centering pass looking for Maenja. That's cleared out by Geneva. Last-ditch effort there provided by Gelsinger. Out of bounds near side now.
Man, these guys are playing really hard. This is fun to watch in a championship game, both sides.
Yeah, there's no doubt that PAC gold is on the line here tonight.
Early in the game, everyone, tons of energy, but these teams are really just buckling down, doing what they do, and just competing at a high level.
Exchange of personnel. Checking in is Avery Wenger, as Michael Pollard will get a breather. Pollard out of Gibsonia, PA, and Pine Richland High School. And Wenger from Chambersburg, PA, Greencastle Antrim High School. Sophomore for the Golden Tornadoes. Header by Fiola. Out of bounds. Throw in again for Geneva. Under 11 to play in the half. Both teams getting here with dramatic semifinal wins. Maenja, a pair of goals, including a game winner in overtime. Foul on Fiola, evidently. Or no, just out of bounds. Just
no
out
whistle.
Of bounds off of Fiola. So Geneva with that quick throw in. I'm Randy Gore along with Andy Stanko. And Andy has followed the presidents throughout the 2019 campaign. Itis, the product out of Spain, with a chance here. Followed around closely by Minconi. He'll send it right to Maenja. Right quarter. And it's out of bounds through the end line. We have a quarter kick. This will be the second of the night for W&J.
Yeah, W&J's been able to get it wide and get it downfield, but Geneva has been very disciplined in limiting these chances of even getting corner kicks. And, just what they do. This is a disciplined Geneva team, as always, athletic, big, physical, and they're proving it tonight.
Corner kick administered here by Jake Fetterman. Line drive kick, chipped in, diving save by Kemp. Oh, and Mensah on the doorstep could not knock it home. Still loose in front, shot toward the net, and it's batted away again by Kemp and out of bounds. That last shot attempt by Zach Bowser. Oh my goodness.
Now chaos in the box is Geneva's calling card. they were able to prevent it there. Wow.
Just that close from taking the lead, but credit Gabe Kemp with a pair of stops. And that's why he's the hottest goaltender right now in the PAC.
Sure.
Here's the second of back-to-back quarters, and what do we have here? Whistle on the Presidents, and it will be Geneva ball. Still a 1-1 contest in the first half of the PAC Men's Championship, and Geneva survives that barrage by W&J. Header by Fiola. Once again now by Maenja. Cleared by Peixo. Collision again. And this will be a free kick for W&J. That was Broadwick, Jake Broadwick in the game out of Aliquippa, PA. We talked about he being the top scoring threat for Geneva this season and spent 4 weeks on the shelf because of an MCL injury. He's got a brace on his right knee as he's out toward the midfield playing to the Geneva zone. Mensah with a high arcing ball into the box, played on a hop by Kemp. Little bump there by Maenja, but handled well.
Yeah, it's all good.
And going back to Broadwick again, you'll see him.
He's still
a
big target in there, and that is something you can't teach or replace if you don't have someone with similar size.
So not quite 100%. He was the PAC Offensive Player of the Week for the week of October 7th. And Broadwick just made his return last Saturday.
Well, here's Christian Payne in for Fetterman, and Payne's strength, he also may not be 100%, but he'll play in the middle, and he can hold up the ball and then distribute wide to where Komaniak and Maenja are so dangerous in that front line.
Over to Maenja. Good D there by Peixo of Geneva. Long ball stays in bounds on the far side. Gathered in by Quinn Pickering. Plays it off to Gary Olson. Check that. That was Martinsic.
Mm-hmm.
Pickering drives it in deep toward Maenja. Has a trailer hustling in with a big head of steam into the box now. And we've got a whistle here. And W&J with an opportunity.
It's going to be right outside the box, which is the right call in this situation. I say let him work it out. I think the arms might have been locked. Gary Olson certainly was fired up wanting that whistle. And here you go. Alvaro, this is a spot you want.
And that was set up by the hustling effort of Gary Olson. And W&J, itis with the goal.
Lightning in a bottle for this W&J men's soccer team. You know, Alvaro Vieites wasn't here for headshot day. All we had was his name. No number, no hometown. And as I said before, it went from, you know, he could play for us, or he could be pretty good. He could play for us. He could start for us. He could be special. And, you know, Dylan Maenja really made a case for PAC Newcomer of the Year. His best competition may be on his own team, as a matter of fact.
Alvaro Viitis giving W&J a 2-1 lead here, the PAC Men's Championship. Geneva trying to strike back immediately. Ball played to Broadwick.
Number 20, Alvaro Viitis.
And this will be a corner now for the Golden Tornadoes. 10th goal, by the way, for Viitis this year.
That's 51 for the season for W&J, tying the school's all-time record.
Geneva trying to draw even on the corner. Headed away by Fiola. Up to Maenja. High arcing ball midfield. Johns on the header all the way back toward the top of the goal box. And a handball now on Geneva off of Fiordolino.
That's the confidence this team has in Joey Fiola, going head-to-head with the big guy there for Geneva. And Joey Fiola's given up a few inches. But, man, he can jump, and they really trust him to win those balls in the air.
2-1 W&J. Back ahead. They had struck first on a goal by Fetterman with 32:16 to go. Michael Pollard tying it up. And now W&J ahead. That goal earlier on by Pollard, his second of the season. We did not pass that along at that particular time. As Geneva with the free kick from in deep. We've got under 4 to go in half number 1. Komaniak settles it down. Here's Fiola. Right-footed try. Diving stop by Kemp. Swats it away. And that will go out of bounds. Corner kick for W&J.
Big save. Same situation here for Geneva. You got to keep it at 1 goal. Continue to create chaos. It's okay if W&J has more possession. It's okay if they have more shots at the end of the game. For Geneva, just keep it at 1 goal. Continue to create chaos. And that's what the Golden Tornadoes need to do. And saves like that are critical in that situation. And Fiola, another guy. Alvaro's got the green light. Fiola has that same green light. And, big save.
Presidents with a 1-goal lead, trying to add on now as Junior Mensah with the corner kick. Headed out by Geneva. Pickering steps to the left, left-footed try. That deflects off a Geneva player, and Kemp realizes it. Tried to dive to get there, but it will be another corner here for W&J.
And Geneva, this is a conference final. Everyone's back. Every single tan jersey is in that box or around it.
Booted away by Geneva's defense.
Yeah, Junior will come out and throw it. Oh, no. They'll play it quick.
Trying to set something up. Top of the 18, headed forward by Fiola on 2 hops, scooped up by Kemp.
Yeah, nice job to get off his line and collect that ball. That's the role of the goalie in that situation.
W&J leading 8-2 in shots and 2-1 on the scoreboard, which is most important. Fetterman and Viitis with goals tonight for the Presidents, and Pollard with Geneva's lone marker. Minconi trying to feed it left. Fiola had the steal, but gives it back to Geneva's Kevin Pacho. Broadwick. Oh, and a couple of players tangled up. Good no call. Looked like more of an incidental trip than anything else. Now it's Viitis.
See, Alvaro's never in a hurry. Never. That may be just how life is in Spain. I wouldn't know.
Charging ahead into the goal box as we're under a minute left. Kemp gobbles it up. W&J getting some pressure there from Christian Payne. Kemp on the punt to midfield. Maenja heads it the other way and out of bounds. Throw in now for Geneva. Now Geneva looking for its 2nd overall PAC crown. W&J attempting to win its 4th.
Well, Geneva will take this. They'll jump up. They'll throw it again.
And in a hurry here, as we have under 20 seconds to play in the half. Broadwick heads it.
Now,
Foul on on Geneva, rather.
You'll
as
take
we're
that
under 10
chance.
seconds.
If you're Geneva, you'll take that chance. Throw it in, trust your guys,
5, 4,
and that'll do it for the half.
2, 1, 0.
So we are at the half with W&J in front, 2-1 over Geneva in the PAC Men's Soccer Championship. We're going to pause for a break, which essentially is we're just going to mute the audio for a bit, but we'll come back and review some action as well before we start the second half with the scoring recap and some thoughts as well. So for now, for Andy Stanko, I'm Randy Gore. We'll come back with half number 2 in a bit. 2-1 W&J leading Geneva. And welcome back to Alexandra Stadium here in Washington, Pennsylvania. The W&J Presidents playing host to the Geneva Golden Tornadoes in the PAC Men's Soccer Championship. We're just about set for half number 2. W&J with a 2-1 lead over Geneva. In a quick first half recap, it was W&J who scored first. Jake Fetterman assisted from Gary Olson, the goal by Fetterman, his 6th of the season. That at the 12:44 mark of the first half to put the Presidents ahead 1-0. Geneva, though, answered back very quickly. Nearly 7 minutes later, Michael Polad with the goal for his 2nd of the year, and we were even 1-1 until late in the first half. Alvaro Viitis with his 10th of the season off a free kick just outside the goal box with the marker at the 39-34 mark to bring us where we're at now, 2-1. Andy Stanko, your thoughts on half number 1 and what these teams need to do in half number 2?
Both teams stuck to their guns. Both teams got an early goal. The second goal, big one. Alvaro Viitis finishing it off. Geneva doesn't care that it's being outshot 15-5. You know, talking to Kerry Dunda before the game, they're going to defend. They're going to be dangerous with their chances. That's the big key for Geneva. They're not interested in winning that shots battle, but at least creating those chances and cashing in on them. And it will take an effort of at least one goal here the rest of the way to get it done.
Chatham 0.
PAC Sports Network with the soccer championships tonight. Another foul here on W&J as Paisho knocked down to the turf. Free kick for Geneva. And we have on the PAC Sports Network website, pacstream.net, this men's soccer title tilt, of course, and the women's soccer championship. Grove City playing host to Chatham, and Grove City with a 1-0 lead in that one. Davon Johns with the free kick. And it is picked again by Sam Miller as he was all by himself that time. And we apologize for any interruptions there. A little computer snafu, but it looks like everything is all sorted out as we continue on here in half number 2. W&J leading 2-1. Ball played in slowly toward the net with a right-footed play in by Zach Bowser, easily handled by Kemp. And off the goal kick, punted by Kemp to midfield. Actually, not off the goal kick, but the ball is punted out to midfield by Kemp. My apologies there. Under 40 to go here in this second half. 2-1 Presidents leading by Ainja. Well guarded there by Paisho. No foul. Fiola. Now Olsen from the right side centers one up. Komaniak back to itis. Tight to the end line. It deflects out of bounds, but it's a corner kick coming up here for W&J.
Ooh, Alvaro's still down. There, he'll pop up eventually. I didn't see that there was a collision after he tried to center it. But, pretty good chance there. Gary Olsen again forcing the issue, getting wide, and then playing in. Komaniak nearly had a good look at it.
First corner of the second half. Shot on net and a goal, Komaniak. 3-1 W&J.
Oh boy. This may be trouble for Geneva in terms of its tactics. Now if you're Gary Dunda, you really have to think. You want to go 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sticking to your guns. Grove City had some success going to 3 backs. A little bit of a change in its alignment. We'll see if Geneva gets markedly aggressive. Still 39 minutes to go here, but that's what you're looking for.
Komaniak with his 8th goal of the season, and it's now 3-1 Presidents.
And this is classic, Gary Dunda before the game talking about the different guys that can hurt you. And they've all been in on this action.
Geneva's seen this before. Unfortunately for them, they lost 4-1 to W&J in the regular season. And it was Geneva who struck first in that one. But 4 goals in the span of 15 minutes for W&J, the offensive juggernaut. And again, Geneva tops in the conference in goals allowed. They allowed less than 1 goal per game. And you put it in perspective, Geneva had allowed 18 goals all season as a throw-in here. Headed up, right-footed shot, diving stop made by Miller, and then cleared out by itis. Well done by W&J.
The shot was Abdel Nabi. Got his foot on it, and Miller, a couple of big second-half saves these last few games. He makes the play once again.
We'll get to that goal-scoring point in a moment, but another throw-in. Mensah clears it out. Komaniak gives chase, and he'll just boom it into Geneva territory. Now, Geneva had allowed 18 goals all regular season. Second best was Grove City. They had allowed 30 goals, so not even close between number 1 and number 2 in that statistic. But here, Geneva has permitted 3, trailing 3-1. Komaniak had the third. He'll deflect it over toward Viitis. Foul on Jay.
Ooh.
And now we've got a yellow card.
I think that's a classic case of an official making a so-so call, getting a comment, and handing out a card. I'm not sure that's great officiating. I don't know what Alvaro said to him, but there wasn't much there from my vantage point.
Johns with the deep kick in the box. Quickly out. Viitis over to Maenja. Now he'll lead Komaniak. As you can see the rhythm between these three. Now it's Viitis in the attacking third. Nice defensive effort, though, right there near the top of the attacking zone by Geneva defensively. That was Luke Herman with that effort. And now down by 2 goals. I have to wait and see how Gary Dunda, if and when he changes his offensive strategy. Players tangled up. And Geneva with this foul, so it'll be a throw-in now, or excuse me, a free kick rather, for W&J. Well, played across toward the right quarter.
Bowser.
Over toward Komaniak, but Geneva plays it high. Headed up. Viitis trying to weave through traffic. Will play it back to Pickering. And Chase Baxa off a deflection. Almost able to create an opportunity. Nice sliding play there by Abdel Nabi.
And there's pressure creating a chance here, a turnover for W&J.
Maenja cut off on the play by Johns. Abdel Nabi trying to lead Polad to the left corner. Pickering first to it, and he'll just escort the ball as it will roll slowly out of bounds. Goal kick W&J. Thanks for being with us here tonight as the PAC Sports Network, in collaboration with the fine folks here from W&J, working together for this PAC Men's Championship. Left side, it is Fetterman, and he will chase the ball down. Fetterman, who scored the first of the night, trying to set something up. He stays in bounds, is ripped down. And we're going to have an opportunity here for W&J. Fetterman will be awarded a penalty kick.
That's a tough one to take if you're Geneva, but you can't have your hands on them. If you get beat, you get beat. But the chances, the percentages of playing that out, I'm not sure how they stack up against the percentages of a penalty kick. Now, here's what's interesting. Jake Fetterman was the last W&J player to take a penalty kick. He had one against Bethany. Teams typically scout to your last penalty kick. So for the Presidents to pick him, it's interesting because Geneva should, if they have done their homework, have a pretty good idea where he went against Bethany. And now for Fetterman, is Jake going to go with what he went before, or is he going to go a different way?
And remember, Geneva advanced to this championship with a win in the semifinals against Westminster in a penalty kick shootout. Here's Fetterman. And a goal. 4-1 W&J.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Jake Fetterman. And he's making his case for a PAC tournament MVP. Whew. That is a big goal, and another chance for W&J created by going wide, attacking from that spot. Fetterman, he ran 40 yards to get that ball. A foot race with Herman. Won the ball, made a great touch, got around his man, was dragged down. And to play like this in a conference final, it's just got to be huge for him.
I'm going to ask you, my friend, to take this for a minute here.
Sure.
To try and solve something.
Presidents leading 4-1, 33 and a half minutes to go here in regulation. And now for Geneva, we'll see if the Golden Tornadoes will be any more aggressive here, as it is Bowser winning it, sending it forward in the direction of Myanja. Chasing it down is Peychaud. Peychaud defended by Myanja. Dillon applying some pressure here. Peychaud turning to the sideline, had it clipped. Bowser is there. Komaniak. And there's Johns defending. It's going to be a throw-in here for the Presidents. 32:50 to go in regulation. And they're going to let Junior Mensah run across, and he'll heave it in. And for W&J as well, with a 3-goal advantage, this also serves to run some of that valuable clock. As Mensah collects near side, he will heave. Played into the middle. Itis deflected, in a dangerous ball, or dangerous challenge there. Komaniak went high with the leg trying to knock it down, and I would agree with that for sure. As it's sent away by Geneva. Golden Tornadoes have to be in a hurry here, as the ball's rattling around in that midfield, volleyed forward by Peychaud. Fetterman sends it back the other way. Into the middle for Itis. Gets it down on the turf. Moving left. Heads back right. Connects with Gary Olson. Olson to the sideline. Wants to turn the corner. Plays it in, but nobody's home. It'll be sent to Abdel Nabi. And kicked away. Bowser jockeying there with backs up, and it'll result in a Geneva throw-in. So Golden Tornadoes on the move here. Back to Baxa. Up top. And they'll get wide here with Sauer. And a whistle. Couldn't really catch that here left side. It results in a W&J ball. It will be a President throw-in. I guess it went over this near side touchline.
I'm all set now. Yeah, thank you, sir. And I want to say as well is, again, W&J leading here 4-1. Just wanted to double check on our technical situation. So
sure.
we're A-OK. But Andy Stanko, who's done a wonderful job tonight, of course, but throughout the season for the W&J Presidents with the soccer broadcast, and so gracious to allow me to come in and join him here tonight with the PAC Sports Network for the Men's Soccer Championship. So he does a fantastic job. And
if I could,
yes,
check out the men's soccer schedule. You can see highlights from any game that we've streamed so far this season, relived this season, including this game. Schedule page, YouTube, Twitter, all the above for you W&J fans.
And our pleasure to be here as well on behalf of the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. As far as the PAC Sports Network is concerned, Geneva appearing in this title tilt for the 4th time in the last 5 years. So they have been a regular at this championship route. And last year, a rarity for Geneva to miss the playoffs. In fact, it was the first time that had happened since they had joined the PAC. And the first time it had happened under head coach Gary Dundas. So no surprise that Geneva is right back here in the tournament and in the championship. And now Geneva building a rush with under 30 to play in the second half. But Pickering will head the other way. Lead ball for Myanja. And he is offsides, I believe. And that is indeed the call.
Hey, you'll take your chance with that, for sure. And this is a team that, again, W&J likes to get wide, will trust their guys in those situations. And Coach McDonald says they work on finishing all the time from those wide spots, coming to meet balls and both goals for Dillon on Wednesday against Grove City were those situations coming to meet balls, and so you'll roll the dice any day with that.
Olsen near side. Arcs it toward the midfield, but out of bounds first, evidently. And so we'll have a throw-in pending for Geneva. This Geneva team won the PAC championship 3 years ago. The program in 2016 beat Bethany in the semifinals. Defeated Thomas More in the championship 2-1.
Yeah, heck of a team. 16 wins, a 14-game win streak that season. Lost to a nationally ranked F&M team in the tournament, 1-0. Certainly a really high-caliber championship squad.
Toward the near side in the right quarter. It's Davon Johns, throw in. And we'll have another one, as Johns will do the honors. The senior out of Mount Pleasant Mills, PA, in Midwest High School. In toward Baxa.
And for Geneva, you can't get it all back at once. It has to start with the first one. You know, you hear that in baseball sometimes. You can't hit a 7-run home run or whatever it is. It's just got to be one at a time in terms of the Golden Tornadoes and developing chances and then just going from there.
And Geneva, of course, behind the 8-ball from the standpoint that they're a defensive-minded team first, and they trail by 3. Not to say that they can't rally back. They certainly have the talent to do so, and a great coaching job done by both of these two head coaches. Number one,
sure.
Ian McDonald in his 29th year with injuries occurring to his squad. For Geneva, their top scorer going down for 4 weeks, Jake Brodwick, and they've been able to recover from that and mix and match some things. You see a lot of rotation. Is ball driven out of bounds by Miller on the far side. Throw in coming up here for Geneva.
And what's even more impressive, Westminster and Grove City were definitely high caliber teams this year as well. For these teams to get by those teams and get to this point, credit to both of them. And for Geneva, having Westminster and Grove City on the road, getting that win in Westminster, outstanding.
So here's an opportunity for Geneva. As you said, you need to chip away. Can they chip here? No.
Good
touch pass up to Myanja. That was delivered by Christian Payne. Myanja chased down, but still in possession. Oh, and a pass a little bit behind Olsen, who was streaking ahead. Boy, is he fast. Olsen mentioned cross country for him. He is outstanding with his speed. A little too fast for that last pass. Itis has it go by him, and now Geneva will settle it as it is Cole Sauer. Far side, nobody home. Junior Mensah. Mensah trying to get it right back, and he does. Christian Payne cannot maintain possession. Payne, who was the Offensive Player of the Week of the PAC for September 9th, and look out.
Stop the clock. Clock.
Andy, as you can tell, also has to basically manage things here in the press box as well.
It's just a reflex at this point. So for WJ, Junior and Alvaro each have a card. Be smart here. There's still 25 minutes, plenty of soccer left. You know, that was a little bit of a reckless challenge. I don't know if Junior had to tie his shoe, fell down, was behind the 8-ball there, and then just made a strong challenge.
And a set piece for Geneva. Off the free kick, it will glance off the left foot of Olsen and out of bounds, and that goes through the end line. So we'll have a corner kick here for Geneva. Again, the Golden Tornadoes down by 3, but an opportunity to chip away at this deficit.
It's going to be a deep throw.
Okay, throw in. Headed out by Olsen. Still near the top of the 18. Geneva trying to settle it, but tangled up, at a nice play there by Fiola. Far side. Avery Wenger gets to it for the Golden Tornadoes, but only temporarily so. Komaniak with the takeaway up ahead. Payne will head it to the right where he has Myanja. A little give and go action, but Geneva savvy to that. Olsen now trying to get to it. A hard collision, violent play, and Olsen still down.
Gary Olson has been really active tonight out of his outside back slot.
He has been a spark plug indeed for the W&J Presidents, and now a free kick from in deep. Wall built here by Geneva as Fiola will administer this free kick, and he just drives it over everything. Goal kick, Geneva.
We're going to see Jonathan Yaus for Mensa in that outside back spot, as well as Broadwick return here for Geneva. Yaus a little bit different than Junior. Junior has the size to fly with some of these guys. Yaus a little bit more of a speed guy on the outside in that left back spot.
Geneva far side in the attacking third. Fiordolino, who's had his fair share of heroics this year, unable to continue on with it. Komaniak feeds Fiola. He'll reset. Back to Yaus. Yaus in for Mensa on that substitution. W&J will play it back to Miller. Here comes Pollard to force the issue, but Miller will just boom it out to the midfield circle. Johns forces it back into the defensive zone for W&J, but once again a reset. Pickering to Miller. Back to Pickering. Pollard, who has Geneva's only goal in this one. Near side deflects about, and here is Broadwick. And Broadwick, you think about, he's missed 4 weeks this season. He's still tied for the team lead in goals for Geneva with 3. That's how good of a scorer he is. And the team leader in points as well with 7. Now a free kick.
It's big for him just to be out there and draw the attention that he does and have the size that he does. And just him being in there, mixing it up. He's bigger than Bowser. Bowser jockeys with him, and that gets the attention of the official and gets the whistle. If you're Geneva, you'll take all those that you want. All these set pieces. They work on it and work on it and work on it. Let's see if they can cash in.
Gelsinger on the free kick. And hooking in, but punched out by Miller. Headed back into the box. Miller will chase it down again.
Again, that is his strength. Getting in the air, punching balls, being assertive as a keeper.
And directing traffic as well. You can see how assertive he is.
Mm-hmm.
But a takeaway here by Geneva. Fiordolino will run it down toward the right wing. However, it will roll out of bounds off of Geneva. Nice job defensively there by Quinn Pickering to shield him.
Such an unsung guy. And he's another one. Martinzik, Quinn Pickering, both came in as midfielders. And there they are starting on that back line for W&J all year long as a sophomore and freshman respectively.
Time ticking toward 21 minutes left in the second half. W&J had a 2-1 lead at halftime. Second half goals from Komaniak as well as Fetterman. Fetterman with 2 goals in this one, the second of which on a penalty kick.
I mean, he worked hard to force that penalty kick. And when you work hard, good things happen to you. And that was a situation where that occurred.
Free kick for W&J, Quinn Pickering. With the run up, swings the right leg. Deflects about in the box. Fiola trying to get to it. Little bump there. And it's through for a goal kick, Geneva. Or no, is it going to go? No, it's going to go the other way. Penalty kick, W&J.
Fiola was trying to get to it.
So it's Komaniak, excuse me, as a set piece off the corner kick. Payne, though, has it chipped off of his foot by Pesho and out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in now for W&J. W&J in command 4-1 right now in the second half of this PAC Men's Soccer Championship. PAC Sports Network collaborating with W&J College for this championship broadcast. And you can find the Women's Championship on the PACstream.net site as well. Across the goal mouth on the throw-in. Geneva chasing it down on the near side. Cleared out by Geneva's Peixo. Pollard and Baxa cannot maintain possession, however, as the President's defense getting the job done.
Man, Peixo has gotten a lot of those whistles with Maenja tonight. But if he falls down and doesn't get it, he can really put his team in danger. We'll see how that develops.
Souvenir ball to the crowd here at Alexandra Stadium. Now you can't keep the ball, but
senior day with a lot of the former lads around, they had a good time with that.
Beautiful pass, itis right side, centers one up across the goal mouth, right-footed shot goes wide. Komaniak just missing on another goal,
and it can happen like that. Really, with this group working together, Alvaro, Dylan, Komaniak all touching it there. It can come together very quickly when you have the time and space to operate. McNoon returns for Alvaro in the midfield.
Kemp off the goal kick, headed forward courtesy of Minconi. Settled by the W&J defense. Pickering arcs it toward the W&J logo at midfield. Foul on Geneva's Antonio Fiordolino as McNoon ran into a brick wall, but
yeah.
that was a foul.
Clock.
And we've got someone else nicked up, Zach O'Connor.
You got it.
Or check that, Zach Bowser, rather.
Yeah, he looks to be okay. Another good story, Bowser in the midfield. Injury, necessitating his role, and he's taken that ball and run with it like so many of these guys have on this team.
Yeah, for both sides, so many players that you could say playing out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And, doing what it takes for the team to continue on and be successful. And both squads have done that, and that's the reason why they're here. That time looking for a pass for Komaniak, but a little bit off target there from Bowser. Nearing 17 minutes remaining in the second half. W&J on top 4-1, 2 goals by Fetterman. Single goals by Viitis and Komaniak. Geneva's lone marker in the first half from Michael Pollard, the product out of Pine Richland. Whistle in the midfield.
For W&J, you got to be smart on your half of the field in terms of your challenges. You still want to compete for every ball, but not give away fouls and chances here. If Geneva's getting back in the game, this is the way they're going to do it.
Off the free kick, set in deep, and again punched out by Miller, which has been his forte. Geneva near the top of the 18. Pollard trying to get loose for his shot, and he just trickles it in to Miller. And the reason why that trickled in is because of the work of the W&J defense. And Miller very alertly burning up some clock.
Yep. And he's played all of these second halves. He's played these overtime periods. These situations are not new to him.
High arcing punt. McNoon near side to Payne. Pollard, tic-tac-toe work here for Geneva in tight quarters. And it's Pollard again, trying to get it to Baxa.
This isn't Geneva's game, playing the tic-tac-toe all the way down the field.
And now in some space comes McNoon. His pass a bit behind Fetterman, who has to wait on it. W&J will reset. But at the same time here, in that example, obviously they want to start a rush to the Presidents, but even though that pass is a little bit off target, they just reset, and guess what? You burn off some more clock here. You've got a 4-1 lead.
And when you're used to building out of the back, there's not the risk of a misplay when that's something that you do regularly throughout the course of a game and the season.
Geneva sends it into W&J territory. Lobbed high by Martinsik. Booned forward by Payne. Chased after by Komaniak. John settles it, gets it to Minconi. And now Geneva trying to build up a rush, but a steal, Komaniak. And into the attacking third. Komaniak will pass to the right. Has Payne trying to chase it down in the quarter. He will keep it in bounds. Nice steal by Johns, however. It is out of bounds, near side.
Bowser's limping a little bit. We'll see if W&J catches on to that and gets someone up for him.
Out of bounds. And a goal kick pending for Geneva.
There you go, Alvaro back for Bowser. And I also see Abdel Nabi return. He'll take Bax's place as well.
Here's Kemp on the goal kick. We're under 14 to play in the second half. Oh, and a foul on Fiola is going down hard on that one. Yellow card issued on Fiola, so he has one now. Cole Sauer knocked down hard.
That's his strength. Sometimes he gets punished for winning those balls. Now you've got to be smart.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, the officials might want to put some more time on the clock here, and they will. Clock was still running at the issuance of that yellow card.
Well, they kicked it, and then they started the clock, as you do when they kick it after a stoppage.
Geneva plays it, but he has not been whistled. Well, they're getting this sorted out. A little bit of bookkeeping here, but get the clock situated now at 13:45 to be exact, and now we are whistled for play, emphatically so by our official. And so Johns now plays it with the right foot. Top of the 18, it comes free. Ricochets away from the W&J cage. Play to the right by Minconi of Geneva. Nice pickpocket by Itis as he takes it away from Wenger. Geneva gets it back, though. Bump on Fiordolino. So that'll be a foul on W&J. And now Geneva with a free kick in deep here. Needing a spark. This could be just what the doctor ordered for the Golden Tornadoes. Now this W&J wall needs to be set back.
They're asking for the official to let them know.
Clock's still running, and of course the Geneva fans do not appreciate this, looking at it as a stall tactic. And so now W&J's wall is set. Here we go. Abdel Nabi waits for his offense to align now as they'll jump in front of that wall. Abdel Nabi sends it toward the net, knocked down, rebound.
Well done.
No chance at it. And so W&J on the clear, but Fiordolino putting pressure back on. He's tripped up in the right quarter.
The way that this game is being called, Geneva is being rewarded for seeking contact and falling down, and you can't blame them with the way that it's been officiated. It's just not a lot of fun to watch. But hey, for them, this is a way to score. Here you go.
12 minutes left. Headed out, still in the box, and then cleared. In Geneva, you're looking for that organized chaos, right? But in the meantime, it's Fiola. He'll wait for his teammates to catch up. Trying to make a move now. Here's Olsen in some space. Top of the 18, dribbles through. Shot will go wide left, and that time he just shanked it as he holds his hands up on his head. He knew he had a golden opportunity there. And that would have been the dagger, no doubt, for W&J.
But that's the risk that Geneva runs on the set pieces when you're going to use all your personnel up top.
So Geneva survives that threat, but still trailing 4-1, trying to get some offense going here. Johns lobs it up. And here is Brodwick. Brodwick with the footwork as he allows his teammates to move forward. Back to Johns. He'll go across the field far side as he finds Wenger. And now it's Christian Payne. Chased down by Johns as he turns on the Jets. Bumping about. Geneva regains possession. Brodwick now has Fiordolino streaking down the right wing. Here's a chance for the Golden Tornadoes. Fiordolino, left-footed shot, just goes wide left.
There's your chance. That was a run of play opportunity for Geneva. Nice job to develop it. Clock.
(4-1) W&J, and the lead is 3. Remains intact. Fiordolino had an outstanding chance there. But the Presidents thwart that threat. And now to the midfield. And again, W&J trying to capture its 4th PAC title with a 3-goal lead. We're down to 10 minutes to go now. Header by Johns, chased down by Olsen. He's got Jets. Fetterman trying to go back to Olsen, so it appeared, but it's off the body of one of the Golden Tornadoes and out of bounds. W&J will have a throw in. And they'll take their time in that effort. Jonathan Yaus will administer. Here comes the throw in from Yaus from the far side. Into the box, headed away. Courtesy of Gelsinger. Fiordolino tangled up with Fetterman. W&J, you can see that quick passing and how well in tuned those players are with each other. They know where everyone's going to be. Out of bounds near side.
And now you see Geneva and some of their players. The high pressure is what's going to be necessary here in order to win some balls, as W&J is going to be content to work out of the back.
Out of bounds again, this time off the W&J throw-in. Geneva hurriedly plays it in, boomed out of bounds by Olsen. 8.5 left. W&J PAC championships in 2003, 2004, and 2007. So a championship here tonight would be the first in over a decade. Geneva, their lone PAC crown in 2016, although keep in mind they have not been in the conference for nearly as long.
Yeah, only since 2011, this decade, and they've been in the mix many a times.
Gary Dunda leading Geneva to 8 conference tournaments in 9 years, 5 PAC final appearances, 4-year starter in his playing days at Messiah College, where he was a 2-time second-team all-conference pick at Messiah, a group that was nationally ranked during his tenure there. Prior to Geneva, had coached 10 years at Goucher College in Maryland, now 10 years here at Geneva. Right now it's W&J with the lead and with possession. Fetterman from the left corner, tight to the end line, trying to center one up just a bit behind Komaniak. Johns clears. Kept in, though, by the President's McNoon. He'll feed it back to Fiola. Right-footed tried. Sliding stop made by Kemp, but it will be a corner kick, though, for W&J. Couple of substitutions here for the Presidents.
It's Ryan Service with the armband, the senior, as well as Thomas Einoff into the game. They replace Alvaro and McNoon. with a 3-goal advantage. Service, look out for him in the box. He had an assist on a corner kick in that 1-0 win over Grove City in the regular season finale. He's a flyer as a defensive center back.
Komaniak with the corner, and that is quickly corralled on that line drive effort by Geneva goalkeeper Gabe Kemp. Kemp out of Connellsville High School, hails from Normalville, PA. And with Kemp being just a freshman, I think it's safe to say you'll hear from him for some time to come. And Nate Burkhardt as well, just a junior, so he'll be back next year, that duo in net for Geneva.
Yeah, Geneva, as Coach Dundas said, a young team, not a ton of seniors. They certainly will be in the mix again next year as well.
Pickering, pickpocketed by Geneva. Abdel Nabi, shoved from behind.
You see, the falling down and getting the whistle, it's the way this game has been officiated consistently, and I will give Geneva that. And that, again, a chance to get back into this one, back within 2 goals.
Under 6 minutes to go. Free kick here for Geneva. Line drive, headed on net, and a sliding stop made by Miller. I believe that was Pollard, who was able to get that header on net. Also in the area for Geneva was Cole Sauer. But nonetheless, Sam Miller making the stop. Time ticking down on Geneva, nearing 5 minutes. Pacho drives in from the left wing, tiptoes into the box, still in bounds, and that will deflect off of W&J, and will result in a corner kick.
Geneva's getting caught up with the rep. It's a 3-goal game. You got to play.
Under 5 left in this championship tilt. And now what do we have here? Another yellow card, and this will go against Geneva. I think that was Sauer.
Yeah, Sauer has Ryan Service with him, and that's the rare situation where he's got someone who's just about as big as he is roaming around in there.
Check that. That was Broadwick. Broadwick. on that.
Yeah, it was 7.
Yep, Broadwick on that yellow card.
He's a big guy. He's hard to miss him. Geneva's hoping they can find him on this corner.
Header, Fiordolino out of bounds, wide left.
I don't agree with how they're managing this game in terms of stopping the clock at every corner kick. You have to do it for every goal kick. You have to do it for a substitution. In this situation, when a team is leading within the final 5 minutes and substituting, you have to stop the clock on that. Will Keeber, Tommy Davidson into the game as well for W&J, getting a chance to play in a conference final, as well as John Apia up top for the Presidents.
Well, Geneva has had their chances over the last 5 to 10 minutes to chip away, but they have not been able to put one to the twine. So a 4-1 lead remains for the W&J Presidents as we near 4 minutes to go. Apia tiptoeing through defenders on the far side and out of bounds.
Good job on him to just keep it moving down the field, the clock moving, and it was just him with a bunch of gold jerseys around him. His work rate, that's what he does really, really well. John Apia from that forward spot.
Well, when we get to the conclusion of this game, stick with us as we'll have coverage of the trophy ceremony, so we'll stay with you for that. As PAC Commissioner Joe Onderco here tonight at Alexandra Stadium. Busy day in the conference, 3 championship events, and also Case Western football locking up the PAC crown today with a win over the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Westminster women's volleyball champions earlier today, defeating Geneva. It's been a busy day for Geneva athletics. 2 championship events, women's volleyball and now men's soccer. Back to Miller, who clears midfield. Geneva on the throw-in. Headed up by the Presidents and headed again by Fiola. Minconi dribbles in. He'll lead a teammate down the right quarter. And it's just angled out of bounds off the body of Jonathan Yaus. It will be a corner kick for Geneva.
Everyone's coming, both teams.
And Geneva would need something of a miraculous variety to rally back here, but it starts right here off this quarter, headed out by Fiola. Played back into the box.
Again, headed by Fiola.
That was Pecho off the effort. Now we're going to have another stoppage.
Alex Molina coming on for W&J.
Well, for W&J and head coach Ian McDonald in his 29th season, the Presidents can taste it at this point. So getting a number of different players in the lineup is he wants to get everybody into this game, or as many people as he can, for what is very likely to be a PAC championship victory. 3-goal lead for W&J, 2 minutes to go. Out of the right corner, a couple of players tangled up.
That's Molina down there for the corner kick.
Vincent Catanese entering the game.
Vinny.
From the right corner. And again, this is one of our major blind spots from our broadcast perspective.
They're just jockeying in there. John Apia and a couple defenders. Last touch by Apia, so it'll go over the end line.
Your view at home, much better than ours. But goal kick here, Geneva. Down to 90 seconds left. Well, W&J season starting out with an early PAC schedule tie with Westminster. They remained unblemished in PAC play. Did the Presidents a key late season win against Grove City. In fact, that was the regular season finale. They beat the Wolverines again in the semifinals. And W&J now a minute away from becoming PAC champions.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Ball scooped up by Miller, and it'll get to that point here where the fans at Alexandra Stadium donning the red and black. It'll be like a countdown to New Year's. Davon Johns arcs it to the edge of the attacking zone. Fiordolino warded off by Ryan Service. No call. Fiordolino gets back to it. Thomas Einoff in the area as a takeaway by Fiola. Foul comes. There's a free kick here for Geneva in the final 14 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Header punched
4,
aside.
3.
Another header by Geneva, cleared out, and that's your ball game. The W&J Presidents, the PAC champions.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, are we not finished yet? Are we going to have a penalty kick?
In what is a 3-goal.
I believe the official wants 2 seconds.
Or they're going to give him a goal.
Okay, so a goal scored there by Geneva. Nonetheless. So we want 2 seconds back on the clock as Geneva has scored. And Geneva pleading that that ball did go in. I can't tell you as the play proceeded. I cannot quite tell you who it was that got that goal. But nonetheless, the final 2 seconds, and now the W&J Presidents are your 2019 PAC champions. And here come the Presidents celebrating with their fans on the near side at Alexandra Stadium. A welcome celebratory scene for the W&J faithful. Ian McDonald, the 29th year head coach, with a thumbs up for his fans. And you appreciate a round of applause for both. The fans applauding the players applaud the fans, and everyone enjoying this one here at W&J. A 4-2 triumph because of that late goal ruling. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, as it turned out, but doesn't take away from a great championship victory for this W&J team. Again, unblemished, or as far as losses go in PAC play. They beat Grove City in the semifinals at a 4-1 win, or excuse me, a 4-2 win over Geneva for the championship.
A team that endured a 5-game losing streak early in the season after a really hot 2-0 start where they outscored two teams 11-0. They battled back. They stuck together, and that is something Coach McDonald has been adamant about this whole time. This team just came to work the next day and did what they were supposed to do and kept a good attitude. And, it really pays off. This team was really talented and really, like, top to bottom, thoroughly complete. They played their game. They didn't get caught up in trying to play everyone else's game. The PAC, a lot of teams are really direct. A lot of teams look to make other teams make mistakes and capitalize on goals and be physical. And this team played their game and, beating Grove City twice, Geneva twice, tying Westminster, worthy champions for sure. And on top of that, setting the all-time single-season goals record, now at 53, a little bit of icing on top for this team.
Yeah, that's a cherry on top indeed. Yeah. To not only get the championship, but you secure a school single-season record, and that's terrific. And the records, I'm sure if you ask Coach McDonald, I mean, he'd rather have the championship than the record.
He
but
couldn't tell me the year where they scored 51. He just knew it was 51. Now he can be sure.
Now, to get them both on the same night, that's a terrific and special feeling, I'm sure.
Congratulations to Geneva on an outstanding season. The Golden Tornadoes overall
in Geneva as well. You think about their accomplishments this year. And this Geneva team started the season, 2-0 to begin, but then lost 5 straight. They were 2-5, and then able to continue on and put together a nice run to get to this championship event here in the conference tournament, and doing so with a lot of one-goal victories. Going 6-5 in one-goal games, and there's the trophy, the W&J Presidents PAC champs.
With a 12-7-2 overall record after earning their 4th PAC title tonight and their first title since 2007. Your 2019 PAC men's soccer champions, the Washington and Jefferson College Presidents.
4th overall PAC championship, first since 2007. Staging the photo, Commissioner Onderco.
Directing traffic.
That's right. Well, you have to have the scoreboard in the background.
Mm-hmm. And it's fitting to win a 4-2 kind of game. 4-1, 4-2. Go ahead and tack on the goal at the end. But for a team that won these kind of shootouts all year long, scored like crazy in PAC play, it's fitting in the final to do it in a dominant fashion.
Fans, on behalf of Geneva College, W&J and all of our member schools.
And the celebration by W&J, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure, for those young men and Coach McDonald and winning this championship. But guess what? You're going to have to get back to work, guys, because the NCAA tournament is coming up very soon.
Yeah, Monday afternoon, 1:30 is the selection show. There's not a lot of mystery or intrigue. W&J, you are in. Your ticket is punched. One of the, I believe, 46 automatic bids across the country. The President's Athletic Conference will send the presidents.
Well, and, you know, for that selection show, push you at ease. You can sit back, bring your popcorn, and wait for your name to be called.
Uh-huh.
The only mystery is exactly that. Where are you headed? So that'll do it for our broadcast here on the PAC Sports Network. Again, in collaboration with the fine folks here at W&J College. The Presidents 4-2 winners over the Geneva Golden Tornadoes here in the 2019 championship. I'm Randy Gore along with Andy Stanko. Andy, again, thank you so much for allowing us to come in here. And final thoughts by you here. And again, you've been a part of this season the whole way through.
Yeah, a team that faced adversity, that 5-game losing skid, the injuries turned into depth. It ultimately made this team better. Worthy champions, a high-powered team, a balanced team. And check out postgame. We're going to have several interviews, highlights, the whole nine. And then Monday, you'll see where the Presidents go. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Andy's got more work to do for that post-game celebration. W&J 12-7-2 now on the season with the win. Geneva's year comes to an end with a 10-9 record. W&J 4-2 winners of the PAC Men's Championship. Good night, everyone, here from the PAC Sports Network.